107,622. That was the number of overdose deaths in the United States of America last year. Last time we had my boy Mike Slater on, he brought up just something I hadn't thought about before, but it's so true. We lost 57,000 soldiers, I think about exactly that number, in Vietnam. We had many more than that killed last year with drugs in this country. Joining me now, my friend Mike Slater, host of the great Politics by Faith podcast. Mike, why do we have such a drug problem in America? And I'm not an idiot. I know other places have drug problems, but it's so pervasive here. And it really has been for a long time, man. This isn't recent. Help me understand why.
Yeah, it's different. And the thing we focus on this episode is the age of it right now. First, I want to say I thought of you, Jesse, when I was preparing this episode, because I know you're passionate about this issue. And I'm grateful for that. I can hear it in your voice. So thank you. So I channeled some of your outrage because this is straight chemical warfare. Do you know where the chemicals come from to make fentanyl? They come from not only China, but of all places, Wuhan, China. Nice little city over in China, through the Mexican drug cartels and killing, as you mentioned, fentanyl specifically is about 80,000 Americans. So we can't just brush this off. We need to be as outraged as you are. So I talked about the age because, listen, there's gonna be drug overdoses and junkies on the street and whatever, but this is different. A couple weeks ago at a high school in Los Angeles, actually Hollywood, 4 high school students took what they thought was a Percocet, and it actually had fentanyl in it. And a 15-year-old girl died, and 3 other girls were found overdosing in a nearby park. In the same high school, 6 other students were overdosing in the same park within the previous 3 weeks, okay? So obviously, like, a lot going on here, right? But I'm haunted by the question, why would 15-year-old girls even think about taking a painkiller? Like what is that? What painkiller? What's going on at 15 years old? So I'm just thinking and mourning the level of despair that young people have right now. Teenagers should not be full of despair. So why are they? And I'm just thinking about the godless soup that they've been raised in. And in particular, we go into great detail on this in the podcast. There's this cultural phenomenon going on called the flattening, right? So it's this idea that everything in society is exactly as valuable, meaningful, and important as anything else in society, right? So any choice that anyone makes is of equal value, no one can judge, and you can't question anything. And there's 2 effects, right? So the first is there's nothing bad, but also there's nothing good either. Everything is flat. So bad choices and bad worldviews are lifted up as acceptable or even celebrated. But I think maybe even worse than that, but like more overlooked definitely, is that the good things are bulldozed and flattened down. So we used to have this society where we would value excellence, and we'd all agree that there's certain things that are more important or superior or more meaningful or things you should do in life, but all those good things have been bulldozed and flattened, and now everything is the exact same as everything else. And how dare you suggest that people should make different choices? All choices are the same. And that has effects for people of all ages, but when you're a teenager and you're trying to make sense of the world, and you're trying to find a direction, and culture is giving you no direction at all, no hints, no clues, nothing. I think that leads to nihilism. I think it leads to this idea that nothing matters anyway. I think when we tell kids that there's no creator, that you come from fish and monkeys and you're here randomly for no reason, I think it sends a message to kids that nothing matters anyway. It's all random. I'm here randomly, everything's here randomly, it's all just random. So what's the point? Like what, nothing matters, right? And I think that leads to nihilism and despair. We haven't given kids anything excellent to aim for because it's been bulldozed, it's been flattened. And then all the bad things have been lifted up too. So it's more likely that they're gonna choose those bad things. But if there's nothing to aim for, what's the point of life? So why not then just take this pill to make the pain go away?
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, Che Guevara, the latest episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.